King Charles I's alleged links to slave trade branded absolute rubbish by royal expert. A study published in the left-wing newspaper The Guardian is trying to claim that King Charles I has a link to an event in 1686 where 200 slaves were delivered to a plantation in Virginia. King Charles's supposed links to slavery have been rubbished by the royal expert, who says it is stretching the point to say the monarch is linked to a slave owner who was alive in the 1600s. Charles Ray has hit out a study published by The Guardian, in which tries to link King Charles I with an event in 1680. The left-wing newspaper says it has unearthed a Royal Atlantic Company document, which shows that the captain of one of its ships was ordered to deliver the slaves. The plantation the slaves were delivered to was owned by a man called Edward Porteous. Almost 200 years later, a direct descendant of the slave owner, Francis Dora Smith, married the 13th Earl of Strathmore, Claude Bowes-Lyon. The Earl is the great-grandfather of King Charles I female line, but Porteous and the king are not relatives, either legally or biologically. Speaking to News about the issue, Murray said, "It's absolute rubbish, to be honest. There's been some research by The Guardian which seems to want to get involved in the self-flagellation over its own links with slavery. Their owners had links with Edward Colson, the slaver whose statue was pulled down. This latest document shows that 200 slaves were sent to the plantation in Virginia, owned by Edward Porteous. Not 2 centuries later, about 1830, a direct descendant, Francis Dora Smith, who was born 30 years after the abolition of slavery in this country, married Claude Bowes-Lyon." Murray added, "They were the parents of the dearly departed Queen Mother, who is King Charles's grandmother." That's the link, but to say that Edward Porteous has a link, his 10 degrees of separation from the king. So I think it is stretching the point to say that he is linked either legally or biologically to the king. You have to remember as well that you had Prince Albert, who was married to Queen Victoria, who himself was an anti-slavery campaigner and helped bring about the end of slavery in this country. In a statement to The Guardian, a spokesperson for Buckingham Palace said this is an issue that His Majesty takes profoundly seriously. As His Majesty told the Commonwealth Heads of Government reception in Rwanda last year, "I cannot describe the depths of my personal sorrow at the suffering of so many, as I continue to deepen my own understanding of slavery's enduring impact." That process has continued with vigor and determination since His Majesty's accession. Historic Royal Palaces is a partner in an independent research project, which began in October last year, that is exploring, among other issues, the links between the British monarchy and the transatlantic slave trade during the late 17th and 18th centuries. As part of that drive, the royal household is supporting this research through access to the royal collection and the royal archives.